Well, welcome back to We Should Jam Sometime. Got a non-music guest here.
Yeah.
Member of the military, star of a hit series Letterkenny.
I don't know about star. Pretty far from star. Okay. But my face is in it for about 10 seconds.
On the back of his head.
Yes.
You know, I'm actually, okay, I should introduce you. This is Colin Wiley, who he's technically, the funny thing I have with like you guys that are like Zach's friends.
Yeah.
It's like some of you like Zane and Drew and like you are also my friends, but your like identifier is always like, yeah, my brother's friend is coming.
Yeah.
But then also it's like, well, then why are you hanging out with him?
But he's also my friend.
But he's also my friend too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's who he is. He's up from New York.
Yeah, military's got me in upstate New York.
He's in the military. So I don't know, what do you want to talk about first? We have
just,
zero plans, so we'll see how this goes.
Just got back from Australia, so that was good.
Yeah, let's talk about that. How was that? You were there for a while.
I was there for 3 weeks, and it was good. It was, I had a van. I did 30 hours of driving, 2,866 kilometers.
Jesus.
In a 2003 Toyota Hiace.
Nice.
If you've ever seen these things, they're an absolute piece of shit. 500,000 kilometers on this thing.
Jesus.
And when the guy gives it to me, like we're turning the corner to get the van, and he's already trying to explain how like it's not as bad as it looks. Right? He's already trying to like downplay like don't worry about it, you know, all you got to do is return the van, it's fine, like just don't put it on its side, just don't have it be a complete write-off, that's all you got to do, man. And I was like, how bad is this thing, right? But that was good for me because it was just me touring and I wanted to max out my unlimited kilometers and just fucking go.
Yeah.
So the fact that this dude gave me a van that he really didn't care about, and he stressed that, it's like, all right, let's go.
He's like, just bring it back. Make sure she goes when it comes back.
That was it. Yeah, I ended up. It was so much fun because in the military they've always dictated my life. They've always told me exactly where I'm gonna be the next thing. It's always there.
Yeah.
When I got into Australia there, the only thing I had to do was catch my flight back.
Yeah.
December 19th. I had to be back on a flight. Other than that, I could do anything I wanted. So
that's awesome.
Super fun. I went through the Outback. I did the Great Ocean Road. Wow. I slept at a stranger's place in Adelaide.
Oh shit.
he just took me in. He's like, "You're sleeping in a van? Why don't you just stay in my guest room?" Yeah. People were super friendly. So that's what I kind of realized when I was there is that we're all just British people.
Yeah.
This is me driving through the Outback in my van, coming up with things in my head.
We're
because
3 minutes in and there's already like a hippie life-changing moment.
Dude, there's so much life-changing in that. But I'm driving through the fucking Outback and I'm thinking to myself, wait, where was I going with this?
Oh no, stranger, we're all British people.
Yes, we're all British people. That's it. Yes, that's how valuable that thought is.
Yeah.
We're all British people, and Aussies are just the tropical version. Canadians are the Arctic version.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
We're all just the same. We're all just super friendly people. That's what I noticed. I bunked with when I was in Sydney. I bunked with some British people, and they were like super happy because I gave them. I like used my phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I bought Wi-Fi. And I was leaving,
right?
So I bought data,
yeah.
And I didn't want to leave it, so I'm like, hey, here's some data, and they're like, yes, we can watch Downtown Abbey now. Like, thank you, right? But like everyone was super friendly.
That's
like,
awesome.
I didn't run into a dick the whole time.
Really?
It was great, yeah.
That's crazy.
And like my friend's family, they took me in. I was on the farm.
Yeah.
Saw the second most poisonous snake in the world.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Like close?
Yes. Yes. Very close to the snake. Her dad was explaining to me that he had the anti-venom in the cabinet. If you didn't get it in 10 minutes, you're dead.
What the fuck?
And when you do get the anti-venom, the next like 2 weeks of your life will be hell. Like
no
you will
way.
live, but like he was like, you're not, if you get bit here, like you're not getting back on the flight. You have to understand that.
Oh,
I was like,
shit.
I don't fuck with snakes that aren't poisonous, right? And this is the second most deadly in the world.
That's
it was
crazy.
Awesome. It was awesome.
What snake is that?
That was the Eastern brown.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy was about 2.5 feet long. He took off across the pond. Yeah.
Fuck that, man. That's what, man. I should show you the photo later. I follow this Instagram account called Nature's Metal. Yeah. And they posted a photo the other day, and it's two snakes in a knot. And if you read, did you see that photo?
Yes, I did.
So it's like two snakes, and the one snake so there's a python and then like a king cobra or something. Yep. But the king cobra is all wrapped up in the python. But what happened was the king cobra bit the python, and then the python like squeezed it to death, and then the python died from the venom. So it's just like a knot of snakes, and they both died. That's such a wild photo.
That is metal. Yeah. That is nature being metal. It's right totally there.
Metal. It's a pretty. I love how I love about that account is it's always like blocked off. Like you have to like confirm that you like want to see it.
Yeah.
It's like for the most part, it's always really fucked up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
What else? Do you encounter any other dangerous animals?
No danger. Nothing in Australia. I've actually me and a guy in upstate New York, Tom Vance. Actually. Tom Vance, not of Vance Refrigeration, for those Office fans out there. But me and Tom, we're doing the Adirondack 46ers right now.
Okay.
So it's the 46 highest peaks in like this park in upstate New York.
Okay.
We're 13 peaks through right now. We were going out this one time, and we had this route all set up, and it had thawed.
Yeah.
So it had put water on the paths, and then it had frozen. Oh. So it created all these ice paths.
Yeah.
So we told the guy at the lodge before we were heading out, hey, we're planning on doing this route. What do you think of that?
Right.
And he's like, well, you know, in this part, you're heading through Panther Gorge. We're like, no, we didn't know that. Please tell us about Panther Gorge, because if it's a gorge full of panthers, maybe that's not where we want to be, right? And so we did the mountains, and we were going along, and we had a big day ahead of us.
Yeah.
And we hit the two tallest mountains of the 46ers in that one day, and we had another two to go. And we had Panther Gorge coming up. The guy told us not to do Panther Gorge. He told us to back around and do the other two mountains in reverse. He said it would be more pleasant to do that than go down Panther Gorge. And he showed us this chart of elevation, and there was like drop-offs. Like, I don't know what the red meant, but it looked very scary in the chart. And he's like, this is Panther Gorge. And I was like, that's a lot of red.
Yeah.
I don't know. So me and Vance are looking at each other, and we're like, well, do we go back over the tallest mountains?
Yeah.
Or do we go down through Panther Gorge, right? Like, what do we do? So we decided we were just going to send her.
Oh,
and we went down through Panther Gorge. And when we were down there, big cat tracks.
Oh, fuck.
Across the trail.
God.
We're like, all right.
Your butthole's puckered the whole time.
Little bit, like keeping the head up. Yeah. We were looking into it, and it's like nothing in the upstate New York area is going to get you. Like, none of the big cats are really out to fight a person.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still not comforting to see
you
that,
never know if you're like
right?
in between a cub or something, right? Like
Very
that
true.
could happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's we're working through that. But the elevation difference in the gorge was similar to just climbing a mountain. It was just climbing a mountain in reverse. Basically. With the drop in elevation. And we came off the highest points. But,
shit. That's crazy.
So that's good. That's
Panther Gorge. That's hilarious.
Yeah. me and Tom, we're becoming total kit monkeys because we're trying to complete the 46ers.
Yeah.
So like, he's always just convincing his wife to let him buy, hey, this jacket is like £1, right? Like this jacket is a $300 jacket, but it will keep me warm in the craziest things, and it's £1.
Yeah.
And like I've got this tent on the way that's like 2.6 2 pound 6 ounce tent, right?
Yeah.
And I'm totally jacked about this, but it's like, dude, that's an expensive tent. That's a lot of money. There's a lot of other things I could do with that, but we're in it.
That's hilarious.
Trying to complete this, so it's a big thing. Less people have completed the winter 46er, so doing all the peaks in the winter, than have climbed Everest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is this thing then? Like all in upstate New York, or just
it's just this park called the Adirondacks, the Adirondack High Peaks. And there's 46 peaks that are the highest in that area. Right. And you go around and you check the boxes.
Just like on your own time. You don't have to like do it in a day or something like that.
Just on your own time. You just got to complete it. Yeah. But then there's the winter and the summer. So we've got a few of our mountains check off. If you check one off in the winter, you get it. It defaults. You get the summer too.
Oh, okay.
So some of them we've done in the winter.
Right.
But me and Tom are kind of at this crossroads. Like we joined this Facebook group about the 46ers, and like not a gender thing, but these two females have done like what were they doing, like 20 miles a day for like 3 days.
Oh wow.
and like completing like 13 peaks in a go.
Whoa.
And me and Tom are like, maybe we need to pick it up. Like we're getting shown up right now. Like what's going on? Like these chicks are lighting us up.
Yeah.
And I had to explain to Tom, I was like, well, the first time we did it, I literally packed a comforter in my bag because I couldn't find my Ranger blanket. Like I have a nice like thin thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. And I just punch packed a comforter into this bag and carried it up one of the mountains.
That's
like
wild.
that's the stupidest thing ever, but I did it because I don't care. And then the next time we went, we took his dog, and his dog got tired out.
Yeah.
So we were lifting the dog. So I was
shit.
I was like, Tom, like, you know, like let's be fair to ourselves here. We've never actually done the peaks where it's been you and me, good weather in the summer, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, let's not say that we're losers until we go out in June, fail and have to be rescued by search and rescue. Then we can be losers. But for now, I think we're doing okay. We're doing this all in the winter, man. Like
that's hilarious.
So
that's super funny.
It's a good little goal. Keeps us moving.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's good because you're doing like big marathons and stuff there for a while.
You know, that was something else that I watched. Cashway Pete. I watched your one with Cashway Pete.
Yeah, Josh is killer. Can you plug this in?
He started talking about a goal setting and how like with Facebook and that sort of thing, we like announce that we've set a goal.
Yeah.
And then we don't we don't do anything. We just announce that we've done it, and then we fail at our goals, right? And so like I'm really like before he even said that, I'm like that's something that I think too. I really agree with that.
Yeah.
Like complete your goals. Show me you completing a goal. Don't show me you setting a goal. And I don't want to be that guy, right? Yeah. And it's the same thing. Like back in the day, I did do a marathon. I did do the Ironman. That shit was good. But that medal only hangs around your neck so long, right? You have
to like keep setting goals.
You got to do something. You can't be the football coach who keeps pointing back to his glory days in high school, right?
Being like the football coach.
I don't want to be that guy. Right? I want to complete things. So that's me and Vance are chopping away at these, and they're good.
That's good. And that's like a good steady goal. Like that's not like that's going to take you a while to kind of like achieve, right?
Yeah, we're planning for it to take like a year at least. But we've got Northville Placid Trail coming up here in April.
Yep.
That's 130 miles.
Right.
So 200 something kilometers over 10 days. We're going to do that one. Nice. It's going to be pretty crazy.
Sounds pretty intense.
Me and Tom are currently talking about how we're going to tackle this one creek that's like 100 feet wide.
Oh shit.
And the issue is we're doing it in April. So either the water gets warmer and it's more comfortable. Yeah. But then the water is faster and deeper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or the water is like
freezing.
Vice versa,
like
right? It's either freezing or there's not much of it or there's a lot of it. At least it's warm.
Yeah.
Tom's just like, well, maybe worst case Ontario will just swim across this bastard. Like, oh my God. This is on the first day out of 10. We're going to swim 100-foot creek. Oh my God. It's going to be good.
Hilarious.
It's going to be good. So.
Oh shit, eh?
Yeah, that's what hilarious. We're up to.
That's funny. How long are you in New York for? Are you just there for the time being?
I'm there till about April 2019.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm on to who knows where.
Yeah, you don't know yet.
The nature of my job, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But
you've been in New York for a while.
A year and a half so far.
Been a year and a half?
Yeah.
I guess, eh?
Yeah.
Man, the last I was keeping track of my life after high school, and now
dude,
trying to place where events have happened in the last couple of years is actually it's hard.
Yeah.
To be like, wait, was that when I was in Kitchener? Like to think I was in Kitchener 3 years ago or whatever now is actually insanity because it seems like I'll keep having flashbacks. I'm like, oh man, last year was so fun. I'm like, nope, that was 2-3 years ago now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. As soon as I came down here and I sat in the kitchen with you guys, I was like, dude, wasn't it yesterday you were in in the meat locker with the boys and you're living in Kitchener there with Woodsy,
and
Zane and Zach. All
and it's that's what I love about my program too is that our house parties aren't really normal college house parties. It's usually just your friends or the amount of times that we just sit up there and hang out we did in Kitchener, which I love that so much more than just
that is such I feel like that's such a Meaford thing for us.
Yeah.
I've really felt like we're kind of cut from a different fabric.
Yeah.
And we kind of do that. The casuals.
Yeah.
We're the guys who chill on casuals till like 4 a.m. and crush a table and just shoot the shit. Right? We're not looking for this like wild rager where kegs are getting thrown around and shit like that. We're looking to hang out.
We just want to drink some beers and hang out.
Yeah.
Which are like, some of the more like fun nights that I've had then.
Yeah.
I always feel like parties are just like disappointing because it's the end of the night and you're like, oh, like nothing really happened.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well,
it depends on the time, but
you know how I live my life though, right? I'm looking for stories. I'm looking for the next thing. I'm looking for like, oh, I want to do something cool and different, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
So parties, that same sort of thought is always running in my head. That like, we got to make something of the night, right? Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good one. I've told this on a podcast, but it was like the second episode. I don't know if you've heard this one. It was in September, and it was it's like a Friday night, and I think we just like hung out here, like nothing special really happened. And I think we had like a couple people over, and then we went to bed, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and there was like it was block party downtown, and we wake up to this like slamming on our door for a while. And most of us just assumed it was Jamie because we were like, Jamie probably just went out with like Chris and those guys. Like, fuck her. She forgot her key. Like, we were all like exhausted. We're like, never mind. But it went on for too long. Yeah. So like, I go upstairs. And by the time like I get upstairs, like one of my roommates comes out and then another one comes out. And we go to the door and I like pull back the curtain. And there's just this hammered girl like, let me in. Like, let me in. And she's with these 2 guys. One sitting on the step. Other guy's at the door. And he's like, man, what the fuck? Like, let us in. And I'm like, who are you? And the guy like looks at me and she's like, fuck you, this is my house. Like just like cussing me out. And the guy looks at her and looks at me and goes, you don't know her? And I go, I honestly, man, I have no idea who she is. And then this guy goes, this isn't even your house. Like, what the fuck? And then she's like, it is
he
my
immediately
house.
goes from like this
He immediately
to
went to my side because we were like, what the fuck is going on right now? Because she's like, bang. And then so she's like, fuck this guy. I'm going to moon him. And she like starts pulling her pants down. But like this guy's over it because he's been sitting on here for a while. Probably just like trying to like have sex with this girl
he's expecting
right?
to just go into the house.
Yeah.
And,
So like, well, you know, like there's that first door and then there's the locked door. So she's up there trying to moon us. This guy's fed up, just lets the door go, sandwiches this girl in between the doors. We were like, yeah. And then we found out she lives one door over. She's our neighbor. She's in the wrong driveway. We're like, this doesn't even really look like your house. And those cars in the driveway, not your vehicles. Like, what is your deal?
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was a pretty crazy one to start off the year.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe
awesome,
it.
though.
Like, you don't live here. How do you not like know that you don't live here? Like, that was pretty wild.
That's something. That's a party.
Yeah, that was quite the party.
Speaking of parties.
Yeah.
Last time I was on your podcast, we talked about Letterkenny.
Yes.
And that was that was a hard gear shift of a transition, but I was like, I'm going for it.
Hey, it's fine. That's fine.
So
people probably want to hear the Letterkenny stories.
We didn't talk about the second time I ended up on the show.
No.
And the script I handed in.
I was gonna say we have to talk about.
Talk about the script. That was big.
Also, if I'm honest, I'm behind on Letterkenny. I think there are a few seasons ahead.
I'm behind too, and
of
I'm
me.
in it.
I've only seen the second season, and I didn't even know there was. Isn't there a third season and then a winter season? Like, how season are they on now? Or is the third season the winter season?
First, second, winter season. Nope. Second was the winter season. Now they've done the third. I haven't seen the third. I got my buddy into the fourth. That just finished. Nicely finished film.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so you're in the second season and the third season.
I'm in second and third. Yep, second and third.
Okay.
So we'll start from the top.
He's the big like bald guy. Well, not bald, but like short hair guy in the first like locker room scene in season 2.
Lost all my weight.
Yeah. That's where he is. I think that's the most recognizable you are. But it's the back of your head though.
Oh,
is that second episode, season 2?
So the
if
most
you guys care and you want to go back and look.
Yeah. So bring up Crave TV right now. Shameless plug. And click to this part now.
And it's like a quick second. You're gonna have to rewind it.
I'm like literally in it for like 12 seconds.
Total? Your whole
like
Letterkenny
cumulative runtime. My Letterkenny career is 10 seconds.
I always tell people
a glorious 10 seconds.
I was telling Anella, who you'll meet tonight. It's her birthday. That's what we're doing after this. I was like, Colin's coming. I was like, he's famous. And she's like, really? Like, who is he? I was like, he's in Letterkenny. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, for like 15 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Total 15. But anyway,
back to the start, because some people probably haven't heard the original one.
Nobody has heard it because they're gone. They're on my hard drive, but they're not on the internet anymore.
All right. Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to pay for SoundCloud, and when you stop paying, they just erase your stuff.
They just erase it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So it's gone.
Okay. Well, so just to start off, there was somebody who put a casting call to the military in general, looking for military background actors. So I got on that opportunity, and it's a pretty good gig. They pay you like $12.25 an hour, and like you just chill. And sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, background guys with the guns, we need you," right? And then you're like, "Okay," and then they're like, "Stand here, point your gun like this, pretend to shoot it into the air.
Yeah.
That's what we need from you."
Yeah.
Okay, cool, too easy. And you're gonna pay me, and you're gonna feed me to do
Yeah.
this? Yeah, let's do it. So I did that, and I ended up talking to some people from the industry, made some friends in it.
Right.
And then I ended up going to another gig because I had friends in the industry. And then I ended up learning that the person who was actually getting me all these gigs, she worked for Letterkenny.
Yes.
Or she got the background
Yes.
for Letterkenny. So I shot a message to her and said, like, you never have to find me another gig again if you don't want, if you can just get me Letterkenny.
Yeah.
like if I'm bothering you, then, like, this is all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I will stop bugging you.
Yeah.
Like, you just get me Letterkenny. That's all I want. And she was like, oh, haha. You know, she gets asked that all the time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
wants to be on it. So she just kind of put it to the side. And then going into the May long weekend, the Tuesday after it, because you get the Friday and the Monday, don't you? I think
so.
or something.
I don't know.
Anyways, the day after the long weekend, she messages me on the long weekend, "Hey, do you know hockey players?" I was like, maybe. What do we need, right? What's the thing? So she's like, well, I had a whole hockey team drop on me. On Tuesday, we've got the arena rented. The camera crew's all ready to go.
Yeah.
We need hockey players. And I was like, all right, I'll see what I can do. And now she's understanding me as grabbing like military guys.
Yeah.
And I just called everybody I knew. The thing is because it was after a long weekend,
Yeah.
either our military guys were either working or they've taken extended time off.
Yeah.
So like there is no military guys there. So I call her back. I got my buddies. They work at Greco's Pizza in North Bay. Awesome dudes. And they told their boss what was going on. And their boss was like, dude, to be on Letterkenny, I'll run this kitchen by myself. You guys go ahead.
Whoa.
So I called her back. I'm like, hey, I don't have you military guys, but I got 2 guys who play hockey pretty well and like sturdy dudes. 'Cause that's what she wanted. She wanted big guys. So I was like, I got 2 guys. The one's a little smaller, but he's got tattoos to make up for it. And she's like, all right, I'll take it. And I told her, I'm like, hey, I don't play a lick of hockey, but my roommate has goalie equipment. And I will put that goalie equipment on and have pucks winged at me all goddamn day if that gets me on Letterkenny.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, we could use a goalie.
Nice.
So the other thing was I was working the night before.
Yeah.
So I was working till 7. And then casting call was like at 9 or 8:30 or something like that in Sudbury. And I had to drive an hour and a half to get to Sudbury.
Yeah.
So I told them, I was like, hey, can we make like just a little bit of an exception? I'm going to be late for casting call because I'm working the night before and then I'll come in. So that's what I was doing. And I was showing up late. I put all the hockey gear on. This is goalie equipment I've never worn before.
No
and
idea how
I'm
it
putting
works.
it on. I am so sleep deprived. And I'm explaining to everyone there, I'm like, yep, just, you just got off shift and I'm doing this and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And so I start doing that. And she's like, well, we don't need a goalie. There's no goalies in the scenes. Are you a player though?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a long time since I've been out of net.
Yeah.
And she was like, you'll be fine, honey. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. So they had me put on rollerblades because they actually didn't flood the ice for sound effects.
Right.
And they keep the camera angle up above the skates, right?
Yeah.
So we're just cruising around on rollerblades, but I'm stepping out in front of Jared Kesso, and Dylan Playfair and Andrew Hare, the 3 guys who were in that. Well, Wayne, Jared Kesso, he's back on the cameras,
right?
But those like 3 stars in my opinion, and that's why I'm there. And I'm stepping out on rollerblades, for the first time in like 8 years.
Right.
I'm like, I hope this goes okay, you know? So that was really fun. I did that. I got talking to them, and that set was so much fun because there was only a few, like there's maybe 15 of us really on the camera. Yeah. And so when there's 15, you've got your background non-unionized, non-unionized, your background unionized, and then your minor actors and your major actors. So we had a split between those groups, and usually they kind of keep that divide.
Yeah.
Because they don't. If everyone's chatting, stuff doesn't get done.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
hey, background, shut up.
Yeah.
Right. Minors, this may launch your career, or this is helpful for you. So like, respect the workers.
Yeah.
Majors, this show exists because of you.
Yeah.
Right? They really can just walk around and do what they want.
Yeah.
But they'll still snap down because they know that stuff needs to get done, and we're all waiting on them. But they do have a little bit more freedom.
Yeah.
But when we were on that scene, the majors would just talk to us. Like Dylan Playfair, Andrew Hare, they just, hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
How's it going? How'd you start playing hockey?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't play hockey?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Yeah.
You know, like we're just sharing stories and just beating dudes. Super fun. And like there's this one scene where I'm taking a face off and I'm choked down. Nope, what was the deal? I was choked down on the stick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was on the outer ring of a face off. This is how little I know about hockey, right? I'm on the outer ring and I'm choked down as if I'm taking the face off.
Right.
Jared Kesso comes over to me and he's like, hey man, you're on the outer ring of a face off, so you keep yourself high on the stick so you've got like a blade for someone to pass to. I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. Right? Like, he knew. He's not an idiot. He's played a lot of hockey. He knows I'm just BSing this whole time. But such a good dude. Like, he took time to talk to the guy in catering. Like, usually when you're the director behind the camera, like, you send a runner to go get your food. You don't get off that camera.
Yeah.
You don't do anything but direct because your time is very valuable.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But he's still got that old, like, that country kind of mentality to him.
Yeah.
That way of doing things. And getting his own food, talking to the caterer, talking to me.
Yeah.
He'd address me by my name for the next 2 days.
Really?
I had a conversation with him, learned my name, and then as a background actor, walking by the director, main actor, writer, and he's, hey, Colin, how's it going? That's awesome. That's
my name, though.
That's farming values there, right there. But I ended up coming back to be on the next season.
Yeah.
And in the next season, I'm just a dude in the bar.
Okay.
Which was good. But there were so many people around there, you just couldn't. I talked to Dylan and Andrew again because they recognized me, and I just kind of like scooted over and talked to them, which was kind of fun because once I started talking to them, there was a bunch of other people, like the guys who play the skids.
Oh, yeah.
They're kind of like, hey, if they're talking to that guy, maybe I should talk to that guy. Right? So everyone was talking to me, and I was having a good time because I really do want to hear. They've got good stories.
Yeah.
They've got some really interesting life stories. Like to end up in that place.
Yeah.
You've done like, some interesting stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that filming was on the Friday and then again on the Monday.
Right.
I went out with my buddies in North Bay. I went back to see them in between. And Saturday I was at the bar talking to them. And I said, I've got this idea for this script.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? So did you read it? I posted it up on Facebook.
I think I did read it. Yeah, because I was talking to you like right after we did it, or right after you like posted it.
Yeah,
and I think I checked it out. Yeah,
like the Sunday I'm hungover from being at the bar. I explained it to the guys, and they're like, "Dude, you got a day?
Yeah,
pen to paper. Make something happen. And if you don't like it, don't hand it to me."
Yeah.
All right. So all Sunday, 3,000 words, the whole time. Write this whole script out, and good little ditty, just a lot of like country stuff from like what I've experienced, like you pick your own strawberries and mudding and stuff like that, city guys who just don't understand the country, kind of poking fun at them. That was my whole script. And I showed it to the friend who was housing me, and he's like, well, it looks good, I like it. I'm like, I showed it to some other friends, they liked it. He was like, all right, well, so you gonna hand it to him? I guess that is the next logical move. I guess I hand it to them. So I got it printed off. I worked. It's very taboo to bug an actor during the set. So the whole time I got this piece of paper in my pocket. It feels like a gun. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this shouldn't be there. And I'm just waiting. Nothing really, because again, there's so many of us.
Yeah, you're waiting for the perfect opportunity, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'll see like Nate go by and I'll be like, rainy out there, get your jacket on. Like, yeah, thanks, bud. It's probably like, what the fuck's that guy doing? You know what I mean? Like, stop talking to me, weirdo. But no, actually, what happened was afterwards, I drove back to the set because background holding was removed. Again, they just want to keep you separated so you're not messing with stuff. They've got a holding room. Keeps you away from things. So I went to background holding, got signed out, drove immediately back to the set. I saw all the vans coming out because the guys don't have their vehicles down here. They're all from like Vancouver and stuff. So I see all the vans go. I'm like, I missed them all.
Yeah.
I missed them all. Then I see Nate, the guy who plays, plays Nate. I forget the name on him.
I'm losing it now.
There's
but like the
Wayne,
second,
Nate, and Squirrely Dan.
Yeah.
Anyways, I caught Nate going down the road, and do or die. Here we go.
Yeah.
Pull the car over. Get out. Hey man, how's it going? He's like, oh, good. What's up, man? I was like, well, so I made friends with Jared on last season.
Yeah.
And I was talking to him. He knows military. He's just like throwing words out to try to like make it okay, right? To be this weird dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, okay, yeah, like totally just like whatever. This guy's like stunned. Right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, like long story short, I wrote this script, and I was just wondering if you could hand it to Jared for me. And he's like, well, like no promises, nothing will happen of it. No, not looking for like a promise. Just want to know he read it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all. Can I give it to you? He's like, yeah, man. Yeah, sure. So I hand it to him, like awkward stretch over a snowbank while his girlfriend's kind of like, okay, yeah. And then I just turned to him. I was like, dude, sorry, that was so awkward. And he says back to me, he's like, it's just the nature of the industry.
Yeah.
You got to take chances like this, dude. Yeah. No harm, no foul.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So I went back. I was all giddy. I said to my friend, like him and his fiance were in bed, and I was like, guys. I handed the script to him, and he was like totally cool about it, and like he told me it was awesome, like to take those chances, and like now they got the script, and they're like, well, like calm down, like probably nothing's gonna happen. I'm like, I know nothing's gonna happen. Like probably he's not even gonna read the fucking thing, but I handed it off.
Yeah.
I handed a script to the guys who write Letterkenny. Yeah. Like. That's all. Like this is the end game. You can't expect anything more than that. Right? These people are famous. They got a lot of things on their plate.
Yeah.
Like I don't care if he reads it or not.
Yeah.
But just having handed it to him. Yeah. That's doing it. You know.
Didn't you say though that some of your verbiage was like used in the casting call for the next season or something?
Yeah. So I didn't. There was a lot of people who were like, "Hey man, like, if they use that script, are you gonna make sure that like you get some credit?" I was like, no, I'm not, because like it's like if you're writing a song and I'm holding lyrics in front of your face. I'm like, hey man, I wrote this, right? I wrote this, and you're like, stop! I'm trying to make my own thing, but I'm almost making things that you can't talk about. Yeah. Because I'm like, hey, if you talk about cars and women down by the lake with a country tune, then you're ripping off my idea, man. Right? I can't do that. No. I can't hold his ideas hostage. So I'm like, I really don't care. Yeah. If I wanted that to be copyrighted, there's a method of doing it. Yeah. Writer's copyright. Yeah. It goes out, and then if he wants copyrighted scripts, he can go find them. I'm sure he can find them without it being shoved in his face. So I said there was a lot of people who are like, if he uses your idea, you're gonna get it. No, I'm not gonna get it. No, it's like I gave it to him. I handed it to him.
They're gonna be like, who are you? Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't blame them because I handed it. Yeah. Forced it to them, right? So it's all good. But so the verbiage that they did use though is they did a casting call for 3. I used the term "sidiots."
All right.
You heard that back in Meaford? Yeah. So an
as
idiot.
Soon as skiing time comes around.
Yeah, an idiot from the city.
Yeah.
Sidiots.
Yeah.
So I said that, and then they did a casting call for 3 sidiots.
Yeah.
My story was of 3 people from the city coming in and not understanding the nuances of Letterkenny, and then I saw that in the casting call. I was like, oh, that is quite interesting. Yeah. Right? So that's kind of why I put the script out there, not as being like, you stole my idea, but like, hey friends, I made this script.
So you don't look crazy if they used some of it.
Yeah. So it's like, hey friends, I made this script, and then if my friends were like, oh my God, Colin, they used your idea. I'd be like, yeah, they did. What up? You know what I mean? I wouldn't be mad. I'd be happy. I'd see something of yours end up, even if it's just a joke or a line, that's cool with me, right? Yeah. And like, there's a lot of people who think like, if you do something on the side, like the background acting, there's a lot of people who are like, so you're gonna like pursue.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, no, I do this for fun. Yeah. Right. This is the thing. I've got the military gig for me is awesome, and I love it, and it really does. I don't know, draw something out of me. It is something I really like. Right. But I like the background acting on the side because it's something completely different than what the military offers. Right. The military offers such a rigid, such a, I don't know, by the rules type thing. Right. Background acting, I don't have to lead. I don't have to follow. I just sit there and somebody yells at me and tells me to sit in a booth and pretend to drink a drink.
Yeah.
And I get paid for it and fed for it. Cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
I like the easiness of it while I'm still working. Get paid, right? So,
yeah, that's important though, I think, too, to have like a bunch of different, you don't go crazy that way.
Yeah.
Especially like you said, the military put you up good, but then it's like upstate New York and you have nothing to do. So it's
a
like,
little bored.
Yeah, you got
not
fun
gonna lie,
things to do.
right? But they look after me because they know I'm bored. The upstate.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
so,
like this sucks, so we'll make it.
Yeah,
work
yeah. They
for
make
you.
it. They make it work. Definitely.
That's hilarious. So, how was this concert last night?
The Benny Benassi concert? Oh, it was I don't know. It's a laptop concert, man. So I actually wanted to talk to you about that because this is something that interested me.
For the music part of this podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about music. But this is something that interested me, and it kind of crossed my mind when I was watching some of your other podcasts.
Yeah.
Is like, so when you were with my buddies, Zach, Zane, Woods, they are Queen of the Stone Age, Nirvana, Foo Fighters, grunge,
and then whatever Zane listens to.
Yeah, and then whatever hipster thing that Zane's going on with.
Zane.
But like they always say to me when I'm going to a show like that I'm going to a laptop concert, right?
Yeah.
But the nature of your program here is that you have all types here. You have the guys who are EDM. Like your drummer is doing
God damn, Colin did his research.
I did do my research, dude.
Shout out to Bubblegum. Check that out. Drake Campbell.
Yeah, man. So
that's hilarious, man.
But that was the thing is I feel like in this program you deal with all types. So this nothing against Woodsy, Zach, Zane and the way that they roll, but they're looking they were looking for you to be grunge.
Well, like,
and they put that they drove you in that way. So what do you make it now that you make your own sound? I get it. Yeah. But they were your feedback for a long time.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
So what do you make of it now? That you're in a program like this, it's so open.
It's still in a transitional phase of the program. There's still every year now gets more like electronic music. Our year isn't huge for it. Okay. But also like that's weird because like on the internet, like the guys that make that type of music, like their Spotify plays and stuff are like fucked. Like it's ridiculous. There's a guy.
What do you mean? Like your buddy's
big? No, Drake's not. Drake has quite a few plays actually on like SoundCloud and stuff. But there's a couple guys that have like over millions of Spotify plays. Yeah. There's one guy, if you like YouTube his name, there's like how to sound like Zach Versace videos. Okay. Like, but there's not a lot of it really, and like, I don't know, man. It's definitely not something that I enjoy that much. Yeah. And our program still hasn't geared towards it a lot. There's still like this year is actually like a really big rock band year. Okay. But I don't know, man. I think I definitely just respect that it is still like an art form and something you
still consider it an art form.
Yeah, because a couple when I was home a few months ago, like my dad asked me about it because it was something about it was on the news.
That's interesting, coming from your dad.
Yeah, like he was like, "What do you think about all like, being in music?" Because I definitely see the perspective of like it's just noise, and I'm probably never gonna go to a rave. But also like I don't know, everything's just noise. I don't know if you like it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what my opinion is on it, but like I definitely don't agree with the like it's just noise, it's not music thing. Like I don't know.
Yeah, there is a place for it.
I think there's a place for it.
It's not for you.
There's definitely a time in high school where I didn't think there was a place for it, but that's when I was in like my big Kurt Cobain like phase, and I didn't know any better. I learned a lot. Like you have to be open and accepting this stuff here. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to be, but
seems like
it's helpful. It's helpful to be.
I'm like a 26-year-old military dude sitting in your kitchen, and they all seem to love me. Well, they'll have conversations with me, right? They're open. Yeah.
No, it's definitely and you have to be. And it's the same thing that you just said though, with just like being afraid to like hand your script over, and you're like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. I can't believe I did that. Oh my god. But it's the same thing. I'm going through that too when you're like talking to people. There's like you have to talk to like that guy if you want to play important shows here. Yeah. And it's nerve-wracking as fuck, right? Like like Brandon Eady's like one of the big guys in London if you want to play like Rum Runners and stuff, which is the upstairs to London Music Hall. Yeah. And he like helped like Billy Talent and Alexis on Fire get started around here. So like you know, he's the guy you want to talk to. And like now, if he sees me, like I haven't got a Rum Runner show yet, but
like just a hint.
But like now, if like we see each other, it's like I was always like nervous and we're like, fuck, we gotta go talk to him again, man. We need to like tell him what we're doing stuff. And then he'd be like, hey, Caleb, what's up? I'm like, oh fuck, okay, I broke through that wall now. Like we're good. Yeah. But there's definitely still people that it's like, fuck, like they're in like a big rock band in London, and like I hope they like me, and you know, and then I get nervous and I talk fast, and then afterwards I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, you always question when you've done
it's an interesting like, you know, or you get people like Josh, like Cashway Pete, that are just, that's who they are, and they're like these very like open, like the guy's never seems nervous about anything, and he always has something to say, and you're like, damn it, man, like I wish I had that confidence. Like, it's tough, you know. I don't know. That's straight away from your original question, but I just find the electronic music question is tough, because it's definitely not something that I would ever go to, but like, I don't know.
So riddle me this, okay? Through like watching you go into this program, right? And you were talking on, I think it was the Cashway Pete one. You're talking about not putting your demos out there, putting finished products out there, right? Yeah. Totally agree with that. I was like, you go Cashway Pete. Fuck yeah. But it got me thinking about really a song at the end of the day, what you hear on a CD or like the finished product. Yeah. The average population doesn't even know. The work that you put into that song. No. How do you feel about, or what do you make of, this is ignorant, no musical talent here, but what is the difference between the amount of work into an EDM song and the amount of work into...
I actually couldn't tell you. I don't know.
Couldn't tell you? Okay.
I don't know. Yeah. That's not the guy. I'm not the guy to ask.
Yeah.
If you meet Jake later, ask him.
Yeah? All right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into, obviously, like, just from what I know, like, you know, it's a lot of stuff. Just from, like, what I just showed you from that master we got back from Dan. Like, it's even crazy just, like, what Dan did to it, who's, like, our coordinator. He's a Juno Award-winning mix engineer. Like, the fact that he's doing this for us is insane.
That's cool.
He's one of the best.
Yeah.
And just from what we gave him, that sounded pretty good. Because, like, Carl that you met upstairs produced all of it. And like helped us record it and everything, and it sounded like pretty good when we gave it to Dan, and then he gave that back, which is like, I don't even know, like 30 years of like mixing experience, and like gave us that, and we were like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? So just from me writing that song before we even came here, before I was even in MIA, to like that's the actual finished product that I'm finally gonna like release to the world is a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know, it seems like EDM guys pump out music a lot, but like that's also me being kind of ignorant, but like it just is like knowing like I think there's probably like maybe 7 or 8 guys that do it in our program, and they're just always like pumping stuff out, like always.
So at the
they have an interesting work rate for sure.
At the Benny show last night, like we were, so one of my friends was the first guy playing, and well, that's Scott, who's hosting me right now. So he's like, we're kind of here for him,
right?
As well as like, hey, it's Benny Benassi show. Like, it's gonna be sweet. Yeah. So that's what we did, and we went to, and so he was like top right of the venue. So the venue's got, just for everyone to be on the same page, it's got that upper horseshoe, and then we were on the side of the U on the second floor, so you could see down onto the back of the stage. So you could see the whole setup, right? And it was funny because my buddy Scott was like praising the guy who opened, Liam. He is good. There is no question about that. But my buddy was like, dude, he's better than this guy, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, okay, so I DJ'd this much in Gagetown, New Brunswick for the military base, right? Literally like it is insulting to call it DJ.
What was your DJ name again?
Was it the Pacemakers? We were the Pacemakers. Yeah. And the one time I was like the bar back for the guy who was actually the DJ, and then I kind of like took the position over. But the one time I was on the mic and I'm like, hey, it's Mike Barber and the Pacemakers coming at you, and he just like dies beside me. I was like, what? I wasn't supposed to use my name? And he's like, dude, that sounded so you know where we are? I was like, oh, I don't know. Fuck you guys. But yeah, like this much experience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I've always been interested in it, and I just don't think I have the time.
Right.
There's a whole population of people who buy the equipment,
Yeah.
try it, sell it.
Yeah.
Right? And I just don't want to be that statistic.
Yeah.
I would like to do it for real, but there's probably other things I should focus on.
Right.
To be quite honest.
That's fair.
And that's no insult to somebody who does it.
Yeah.
Right. But
It's a lot of money though to invest into something that you don't know if you're gonna like.
Yeah. I liked what I did in Gagetown, but literally I was just mashing two songs together.
Right.
I knew a little bit of the tricks to kind of, fade one out into the drum beat of it
Right.
and then bring the next one up.
Right.
But I don't even know how to explain that, right? That's how little my knowledge is. But I could mess around with it.
Right.
So I was kind of explaining to my buddy, because we're looking at the board and I'm explaining the power behind what Benny Benassi's setup was. It was a 4 CDG. Somebody out there is going to be like, dude, this guy really doesn't know what he's talking about. But Pioneer CDJs, 1200s, those are the most expensive ones.
Yeah.
And everything's loaded into them as a computer. They had 4 of those
Yeah.
with the board in the center and all
Right.
that. I was like, dude, the computing power that this has, right, is insane.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. So I guess what I'm getting back to is when I was asking you about the EDM stuff, is that I see different struggles, I guess, or different hardships where you have to get a band on the same page and do whatever magic that you guys do. I don't know it, but you really do work at producing one song.
Yeah.
I feel like that EDM guy has the computing power of 4 CDJ 1200s with those can run multiple tracks on each thing.
Right.
And you're seeking out the songs and you're designing songs that you will mix together if you're playing live for the night.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
You are the band.
Yeah.
And it's you.
Yeah, it's
right?
just you're the only guy out there.
Now, if you're a press play DJ, it's a different story, right? But
it's definitely Drake is just also a killer engineer and stuff, because the comprehension of just music and how gear works is also really important. And how there is a difference between what's good and what's bad, right?
Yeah.
And I think that was something really even the one thing that I've just been really focusing in on over the last few end of last year, this year, is people have different minds for different stuff.
Yep.
Which was a big realization for me, where I was maybe I actually just I'm not that good at this part because I don't really care,
Right.
we had a live sound class last year, last semester.
Yeah.
And it was just we would go and we would just be I don't think that this is for me, because it was just a lot of the verbiage and stuff, and it was just a lot to wrap your head around. And then if it's a lot to wrap your head around and then you just don't really care to wrap your head around it, it's okay, well maybe this this part isn't for me. And I think also with music too, you have to be okay, maybe if I don't like this though, but there's got to be something in here that I can pull and then take over here with me. You because there's a lot of cross paths. It's not easy, man. It's definitely complicated, but I don't know. I just also don't find it that productive to just be that type of music isn't good. I'm not gonna pump a country record in here by any means, but
but you understand that somebody knows how to play guitar and do a country song, and that is a skill.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting what you were talking about there with you were saying finding out what is for you and what isn't for you, and kind of guiding and doing what you can do, and then not doing. And I'm kind of extrapolating on what you said. But doing what you can do.
Your strengths.
Yeah, find your strengths, and then find someone who's strong in your weaknesses, and use that, right?
We learned that. That's one of the first things we learned about.
Yeah.
Because of building a business or something. I'm not, we have a prof that sells digital software and stuff. He has a Death Piano. Shout out to Chapman with Death Piano. But he's I'm not good at programming or whatever, so I hire a guy that's gonna make my product look really good, because I don't do that.
Yeah.
But, I'm good over here, so I'm gonna do it. But you hire out for your weaknesses, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was making me think about, in the military we have you got to drink, because I mentioned the military, right? Isn't that's the
old
rule?
Drinking game. I should tell everybody that tonight. Everybody will die.
Oh my god! And everyone will force me to drink.
Here's Colin rule.
When he talks about the military, you got to drink.
Julia, that means you too.
But so something that happens in the military is, especially the Canadian military, is we fill like you have a trade, you have a job that you do, so
Right.
like aerospace control,
Right.
that encompasses a large amount of things. So
Yeah.
that encompasses the instructors at the schoolhouse who teach people to become aerospace controllers,
Yeah.
as well as the guys who talk to fighter jets, as well as the guys who run the actual airfield
Yeah.
and who are tower controllers, you know, visually watching them out of the tower and having them land, or the guys who are, you know, so inside that trade, there's so many different things. And
Right.
in your career, you're probably going to end up doing a job that you're not that strong at,
Mm-hmm.
because in order to have a full career in the military, you're going to jump around to a lot of different places
Right.
and get experiences. And you might get dropped into the schoolhouse and you might really suck at teaching, right? But like the real thing is to understand, like, hey man, you can't be an all-star all the time.
Yeah.
So when you suck at teaching, okay, this is your posting, get by, learn it,
Yeah.
do it. That wasn't for you, but that's
Yeah.
okay. You have the experience and you know that's not for
Yeah.
you, and you won't do it again.
Yeah.
You'll go back to what you're good at, or you'll progress on to the next thing,
Yeah.
right? Some people really suck at the admin side of it, right? And some people really suck at controlling aircraft.
Yeah.
It happens. You move into even though you're in a job, you move into the area you're good at and you find help with the areas
Yeah.
you're not, right?
Yeah.
I think that kind of correlates between
Yeah,
what
no,
you
for
do and
sure.
what I do, I think.
That's what's the same about the military and the music industry.
Hey, look at that. We tied those two together.
I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's
So-
an interesting, yeah.
Something else. A big thing I wanted to talk about. Way Home Music Festival.
Oh, yeah.
Way
I
Home
don't think
Music
I answered your message when you're like, if you want this to be music, we can talk about Way Home.
Yeah, and you're like, cool, bro, talk about
Yeah.
whatever. I don't give a shit. No, but so I don't know if you're tracking. Do you?
Way Home?
Yeah.
No, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about.
So like a little, but you know of Way Home
Oh, yeah,
Music
yeah, yeah,
Festival.
yeah, of course,
Okay,
of
so
course.
like a little, I guess a little background for everyone else is I'm very fascinated by music festivals because it takes my love of music, and also like the military has put this like logistics and running an event properly is very important.
Yo,
right?
this event is run so good.
Or you can see when it's run badly, and that speaks to me, right? So I don't know, I find music festivals, I enjoy them. I like a camping, drinking, listening to the music. I like
Yeah.
that all in one place. But then I also
to ask you, I'm gonna write it down, but I'll tell you.
Okay,
first.
okay.
There's just a story from what you told me before that I need you to tell again.
okay, for sure. But yeah, I'm always interested when I'm at a music festival. I just kind of sometimes take a step back and like really look at how it's ran, and I'm kind of critical of them. And I'm not an expert. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm just being critical. I'm just a guy I'm a Yelp reviewer. I'm a Yelp reviewer of festivals. Okay, you caught me. But Way Home in particular is one I like to talk about. Because it was very interesting. It was so unique. So Way Home ran for 3 years.
Yeah.
And they haven't canceled it, but they're not doing next year. Okay? So in the first year, I didn't go.
Yeah.
And I kind of laughed at it because what it was trying to do was it was trying to be a Toronto indie festival.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in Toronto. It was in Barrie.
Yeah.
Barrie, for those who don't know, is 2.5 hours north of Toronto.
Yeah.
But
Still fucking far from here.
But it's not in Barrie. It's in Oro-Medonte, which is actually a half an hour above Barrie. So these guys were like, yeah, Way Home Music Festival. It's a Toronto music festival. No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's 3 hours north of Toronto, right? So these people who just didn't know, like there's people who come from all over the country, all over the world
Yeah.
for this music festival
Yeah.
because there's bands they like. They don't understand that this was in the sticks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is in the middle of nowhere. And it's at Burles Creek Events Grounds, which has had its own drama about
Yeah.
the Indian Burial Ground,
Mhm.
right? That
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thing. They created this festival ground, and they have it, but there was claims of an Indian burial ground on
Yeah.
it, so that's not good.
No.
So that whole thing's going on. I didn't go to the first year of it, and then second year, that was my summer of festivals. I went to
Yeah,
like
yeah.
3 or 4
Yeah.
or whatever, and I had been to Montebello before, Montebello Rock Fest,
Yeah.
which is 250,000 people. People take over this town, and the public is selling their lawns to park RVs and get money for the weekend. People are racking in like $1,000 because they're selling parking on the lawn, and then they're going to the end of their driveway, selling water, selling beers, cooking hot dogs. The whole town gets involved, and it's great.
Yeah.
It is an honest to God, great music festival, and it's one of the cheapest ones I've done, and like best bang for your buck. No Effects, Billy Talent, Blink-182, Rise Against, Ice Cube, ICP, which we talked about at length.
You have to talk to Jamie about ICP after that.
Yeah, we do. Just friggin' awesome show. Streetlight Manifesto, all that good stuff. So I always look at them, and they're kind of like, that's the gold standard, right? Because that guy started it by mistake. He bought a stage, or rented a stage, a single stage. French people really love metal music because even though it's in English, it really doesn't matter what language it's in, right? So French people love it. There's a lot of French metal cover bands. And so this guy started Montebello Rockfest as just being a French metal cover festival. That's all he was doing. And then it just got out of control. In a good way. And just spiraled and became literally taking over the city. All the campings and farmers' fields and blah, blah, blah. It's great. But Way Home, going back to Way Home. So second year, I'm going with my friends to Way Home to camp with them, and we're doing it. And the whole time I'm kind of like, I hate to be that guy, but I'm like, Montebello does it better. you know? And then I get this email that tells me I won a VIP upgrade.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, let's do it, right? I'm down for this. So my ticket, that's double the value. And I get like free showers and like entrance to the VIP stuff. And I'm not really down for that. I want to kind of be dirty during a music festival. But I'm like, hey, this is sweet, right? And it's free. So, but the issue is they had so many volunteers along the way that it was impossible to get a straight answer out of anyone. I was trying to turn this email in. I was like, hey, I have my normal wristband, which I paid for. I have this email. I won this. I'm supposed to talk to somebody. Everybody was just a volunteer to get their free ticket for the next day. That's all I could find. And I was getting mad because I was like, I'm missing show that I paid for under my original ticket. Like it took me like 3 hours to sort this shit out because I had to walk from tent to tent to tent around a music festival. And the whole time they're like, hey, give us a break. Like, and I'm not the kind of guy to be an asshole to customer service. I'm just like, hey man, I need this. This is what I need. Here's the email. I'm trying to make it as efficient as possible. And they're like, give us a break, man. There's 60,000 people here. I was like,
I hate when I turn into that guy. When you're like, I've worked in customer service. I know who I am right now. And I'm trying real hard not to.
I don't want to be that guy.
That's another story we got.
Write it down.
I'm thinking of names or thinking of stories.
But yeah, so I end up getting the ticket eventually. But they keep on saying there's 60,000 people here. I'm like, well, dude, Montebello Rockfest was an accidental music festival, and it has 250,000. Okay, and they figure it out. And I don't want to be this guy, and I'm raising my voice right now. You know what I mean? I'm like, But so eventually I got the ticket. But my attitude from second, so I really enjoyed. Second year Way Home, they had LCD Sound System had just gotten together and did the show, and that was life-changing. Literally life-changing. LCD Sound System was amazing, and I didn't know of them before that. Just great. And the way that they set up, they would do like the headliner, it would roll in to be the headliner from like 10 p.m. till midnight. And then one of the minor stages would have a DJ. And the DJ would do kind of like an after party kind of thing. Whoever wanted to keep rocking from midnight till 2. So you didn't have to be up from midnight till 2 a.m. in order to see the headliner. You could see your headliner in a reasonable time. And if you wanted to like rave, right on, roll on to the next one, right? And you've got that show too. So credit where credit's due. That's an amazing setup, and I've never seen that at any other music fest. But I was just like, hey, you're kind of dropping the ball on a little bit of planning. There's too many volunteers. There's not enough paid people here. It's in Oro Medonte, and you're charging $9.50 a beer. You're charging Toronto prices, and these people have trucked this far. Like, it was one of my more expensive festivals. So my attitude was, they need a correction. Okay. I was like, they need to suffer a little bit because if you hold something to the fire, it will figure itself out or it will burn. Right. And so I was like, this needs a correction. I think Mo on The Simpsons says like Bart. Stay with me. Bart starts crying and he's like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna kill you. I was just gonna stab you up a bit." And I was like, "That's what needed to happen to Way Home. They just needed to like hurt a little bit, right?" So I'm at Montebello Rockfest. As it got bigger and bigger and bigger, this one year, logistically, they messed up, and it could have. It was the holding to the fire.
Right.
They weren't allowing outside water into the festival because it could be alcohol.
Right.
And they weren't even allowing empty bottles into the festival. Only water purchased on site. And the Porto-John truck was not pumping the Porto-Johns out quick enough. They ran out of water, which was a health and safety issue.
Yep.
As well as punk rockers got mad at Porto-Johns that were not usable because they were so filthy and pushed them over. Yeah. Also a health and safety issue.
Yeah.
So this was like a huge black mark, but it was, hey, is the Phoenix going to rise out of the ashes or is it just going to die?
Yeah.
Right. And Montebello Rockfest was like, all right, we got this.
Yeah.
They set up this thing where there's people just filling water bottles off a whole hose the whole time. You can bring in your own water.
Oh shit.
Yeah. There is permanent trucks just driving around, getting all the Porta-Johns, cleaning them. They they just fucking hose them down.
Nice.
They just suck them, hose them, and fucking you're back at it, right? Because it's better than the alternative.
Yeah.
So they really rose from the ashes there.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, way home, your second year, you could kind of tell it was like dwindling a bit.
Yeah.
And then the third year, they just didn't have a good lineup. And I heard what happened was, now don't quote me on this, I'm not an expert. It's all just hearsay. But I heard they had a bunch of professionals who were like finding, because they try to line up with like Lollapalooza and Oshago. Oshaga. There we go.
Oshaga.
Yeah, Oshaga. And they try to line up with those festivals, catch those same bands.
Yeah.
But they fired a bunch of people who had all those connections. So they missed a bunch of those bands coming through. They missed some of the good guys last year. And so their lineup suffered. And again, with the falling Canadian dollar, they're paying all these guys in American. They lost 25, almost 30%. So it really hurt them.
Yeah.
And all my friends were like, dude, I hope there's a way home next year. And I was like, they need to get cut up a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, they need to suffer. This will teach them.
Yeah.
Right? But then they canceled it.
Oh,
and I was like, no.
Yeah.
Don't cancel. I still really like this party. It's
Yeah.
still a great time. I just think they needed the push logistically to sort themselves out.
Right.
And the push burnt them. You know, they were held close to the fire, and instead of rising, they just burnt.
Yeah.
I was like, oh well. At the end of the day, I really did like Way Home. It is a really good music festival. I do hope it comes back. It is pricey. It is Toronto prices.
A bunch of friends volunteered. Like I think Jamie and like a bunch of the Tars guys volunteered this year. I think that most of them were there to see like Pup though.
Yeah, that was the other thing because it was such an indie festival.
Yeah.
Pup was like probably the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm trying to think of the other one. Arcade Fire
Arcade
might be
Fire,
your heaviest.
Yeah.
Pup's heavier, but Arcade's bigger.
Yeah, big.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the Pup show, there was a mosh pit going on,
Yeah.
and the security they just weren't prepared. They just weren't prepared. So they started getting all freaking out.
Yeah.
Like they started yelling at the crowd, and they started standing in between the crowd and the show and just like getting in the way. Like, is this amateur hour? Like, get out of here. Yeah. I was pretty mad and drunk at them.
You can't do that at all.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. But so Way Home kind of.
The one thing I was gonna say was I remember one of the stars. I don't know. Was it Montebello? Wherever you saw Rise Against, you woke up and there was a dude in your car and you didn't know who the guy.
Kind of. It's not that epic. That would be amazing. But what I did do, so at Montebello Rockfest, I had went the year before with Zane and Woods. They sent up the tent.
Yeah.
Because that's always the case with me, just doing my job.
Yeah.
I usually show up late. I expect others to do the work for me because I can't put the time in on this sort of thing. So I'm always a friggin' dumpster fire walking in and be like, hey, I hope the tent's set up. Sorry. Here's some money. Like, I don't know what, here's some beers. Sorry. So Montebello Rockfest, I went the one year with Woodsy and Zane, and then the next year I was like, all right, I'm going solo. Everyone from North Bay just couldn't make it.
Yeah.
So I drove my car down there. As I'm checking in, they're like, hey, you got a campsite? I was like, no, I don't. And they're like, okay, well, you just go to the church and you can register with a campsite. I was like, cool, bro. Little did they know I was just parking my car on the side of the road because the town is so taken over. The cops don't have time to just ticket your car for being, it's on the side of a highway. It's a highway going in. So I just park on the shoulder and just chill there. Everyone's just doing it.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't actually have to pay for parking or camping or anything like that. So I'm just sleeping in my car. It's not the most comfortable, but it gets me by. And it's a music fest. I like it to be kind of uncomfortable, right? And so I'm sleeping in my car, and I used a bunch of my military stuff that I have
Yeah.
Or maybe I didn't use. I don't know what the correct answer is there. Anyways, it's obvious I'm in the military.
Yeah.
And the guys behind me after the first night, they're like, "Hey man, you in?" I was like, "Yeah. Where are you guys out of?" "Oh, we're out of Pet." "Cool, right on. I'm Air Force. I'm out of North Bay."
Yeah.
"Right on. Want to drink together?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't have anyone to see till like 4 p.m. Let's do this." So I'm drinking with them, and the lineup coming up is the guys I wanted to see was ICP, Limp Bizkit, somebody else, and then Rise Against.
Yeah.
And so we're sitting on the side of this French dude's house drinking with our phones plugged in. The guy won't take beer from us. We're like, "Hey, we're going to plug in. You want a beer?" No. Go ahead. We're sitting there, and I'm like, "Guys, here's the thing about a music festival. It's a marathon, not a sprint, right? You can't just fire out of the gate on all cylinders here. Like, we got to chill." And we're just like crushing this 2-4.
Yeah.
I come to in the back of my car, and there's a guy in the front seat. It's one of the military dudes. And I was like, "Dude, what time is it?" He's like, "It's midnight." I was like, "No way, it's midnight?" He's like, yeah, it's midnight. I was like, "So we missed Limp Bizkit and Limp Bizkit and Ice Cube." He's like, yeah, I guess we did. I was like, "Okay, you going to Rise Against?" He's like, "No, I'm pretty fucked up." I was like, "Okay, don't steal my car. I gotta go." And I just ran back to the show. I caught Rise Against, and my head was hurting.
Yeah.
I was suffering a hangover at like midnight. And I was at this Rise Against show, and it was amazing. It was a really, really good show. Like, he puts on an amazing show.
That's so funny.
I don't know. It was what it was.
Man, I couldn't imagine that. Because there'd be a small part of me of like, I like this, but also, is the show
Also,
over
it
so I can
hurts.
go home?
Yeah, there was a bit of that. You know, I'm always, I don't know. Do you ever get that actually?
What?
That's something I don't even think about until I'm at a show. There's sometimes I'm at a show, and it's not that I hate the show.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, how much we got left?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not
I do that.
Yeah,
You know what's funny? Do
it's
you
not
know
that I
who
hate
Tom
it.
Segura is?
He's
He's a comedian. He just like his like opening bit on his like especially just put a couple weeks ago is that. It's just like, he's like it's just like people. He's like you're out here tonight, but you're also like let's wrap this thing up. Like I want to go home.
Yeah, I very much suffer from that.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why
and
do
then I always have another conflict where I'm like, are you serious? You're at this show and it's awesome. Why are you thinking about that right now?
Or I am so cheap. I'm like, I paid $15 for this. Like, get it, India. Like, watch this shit. Like, I gotta pay attention to the extreme. Get my money's worth, right? Like,
oh man, that's crazy. The other thing I wrote down, which now that I think about it, is probably not like a great story, but just when we were talking about being difficult customers, I was thinking about our time at that Frank Turner show in Kitchener when we went to Shoeless shows.
Oh my God.
We all got free dinner.
I didn't want to be that guy, and we kept offering me out.
We tried real hard not to be those guys.
Yeah.
Basically,
hey, we entered Shoeless Joe's in Kitchener, explaining that we're here for a concert that starts in an hour. Can you get us our food in time?
Yeah.
The answer was yes. And then it took longer.
There's probably 10 of us, maybe.
Yeah, it was a big table.
It was a big table.
So, excuse me. So that's why we asked the question.
Yeah, we all ordered. But then people are getting their food that came
Other tables.
Where we saw sit down after us.
Yeah, and we're asking for an explanation, not to be dicks, but to point out that like, hey man, we got to get to this show.
Yeah.
Then it got worse and worse and worse, and then the guy was joking with us.
Yeah, the guy was. I remember you were like kind of getting fed up. He brings you your food, and you're like, "Yeah, man, like this isn't like really cool. Like we're like already kind of missing the opener." And the guy just goes, "Oh, you're going to that show?" And then like walked away, and I was like, not the right response, asshole. You're supposed to be really apologetic right now.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'll get that. Yeah. And again, it's like I don't want to be that guy, but it's just like it was so
like, how
bad.
many of us worked in customer service? So we're like, we get it. We all get it. We're not going to be like those guys. Because they were at one point, they're like, we'll just give you like half off. And we're like, it's fine. Just be quicker.
Yeah, I don't want half off.
Like,
yeah,
okay.
I don't want free stuff.
Yeah,
I'm not doing this
Yeah.
for free stuff. I'm doing this to hit the concert.
Yeah.
And then I think the cumulative of everything was Jamie getting the
say.
butt of the lettuce, like the dirty old stalk, that inedible end of the lettuce.
It finally comes. I think like somebody was supposed to get, it might even been Jamie, was supposed to get fries, but he got like a Caesar salad and he's like,
And we're like, it doesn't matter.
He's like, whatever, it's fine. And he eats like 2 bites, and then he goes, what the fuck is this? And it's just like the first thing you do when you get lettuce is you cut the butt end off and throw it out. And he's just like, what the fuck? So we're like, holy fuck. So like we're all like at the bar. We're all like, we eat really fucking quick. We go to the bar. We'd all probably had like 1 or 2 beers. And the guy's like, we're like, we don't want to yell at you. Get us a manager. And the guy's like, no, it's fine.
I am the manager.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what he
said.
said.
Yeah, we were like, oh, he's probably like night manager or whatever. So basically, like, we just didn't have to pay for our food. And we had to pay for the beers.
Yeah,
because he's like, I can't give you free alcohol.
Yeah, legally you got to pay for the beers. We're like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
and like,
it was wild. Man.
I remember walking out of there and I was like, dude, this isn't like. This is a management issue. This is a whole thing. I'm not trying to slam you.
Yeah.
I'm saying this was like a cumulative failure.
Yeah.
So, and that's something with me is like the military really, we put in that like always assess what you've done.
Yeah.
Right. So when I'm being that customer, I'm like, I try to do it to a different level. I don't want to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
But it's always like, I'm telling you this to get you better.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do in the military, right? We do an event and we're like, how can we do that event better? Right? We control a mission. How can we control that mission better?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's always funny. I remember one of my friends signed me up for Good Life Fitness, or like she put my information in so she'd get a free shirt.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, hey, oh, I know. I was like, okay, whatever.
That's such a scam. Oh.
Yeah. So they're like, hey, you got 7 days free at Good Life. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So I did the 7 days free. And they're like, so like, can we set you up with a personal trainer and like have you on a towel rental? And like, do you want to rent a locker? And I was like, no, I want none of that. And I was like, here's the deal, right? Because a normal person would just be like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I am God. And they would leave. But I just always have this, like, I have to do an after action report, right? We have to talk about it and we have to make it better because we can. And I don't care if I'm never going to see you again. Yeah. Let's make it better. Yeah. Right? That's always my attitude at the end of something. So he's asking me about it. And I was like, well, here's the deal, dude. I get a gym through the military. Yeah. I have a gym I can go to that's the same distance away. Yeah. So straight up, I'm not going to come to your gym.
Yeah.
But the catch for me, what makes this gym more special than my military gym, is that you run good classes here. I really do like your classes.
Yeah.
So I would recommend to you to offer a discounted class price that you could give to military members. Then you would be catching military guys who want to do the classes but don't want to pay for the full thing.
Right.
But like when I'm telling this to a guy who's the front desk at Good Life Fitness, he's like, dude, that's decisions made at like, you know what I mean? He's like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't care. Do you want a membership or not, bro? And I'm like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Dude, he was like laughing at me. I'm like, yeah, no, that is silly of me, but that's just how I roll.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's hilarious, man. There was a part, so I'm working at this call center right now.
Okay.
And it's like Christmas time was fucking brutal, especially like getting down crunch time. And I was worked on the 23rd. Yeah. So like if your package didn't get there, I'm sorry. It's not fucking coming. So like I was getting people, and like honestly this whole day I was like, I shouldn't even be here. I gotta get to me for like, I'm just counting down the time till 2:00, right? Yeah. And like all day is like, where the fuck's my package? I'm like, sorry, it's not coming, or like it should be there. It's not, and then somebody stole it.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was like the whole day. But there's a couple people like it didn't come for whatever reason, which like isn't really my fault, but I gotta try to figure out. But like a lot of it's just like, yeah, the company fucked up or whatever. But like it's a call center, so you're supposed to be very like, I'm very sorry. No, I understand. I'm very sorry, but I can't. And there's just a couple times I was like, yeah, you're right. This was our bad. And like, I was like, I personally can't help you. I can send you to a manager. And like one lady's like, she's like, I can't. She's like, I've been on the phone since like 9. And it was like noon.
No. I shouldn't laugh at that. That's
and I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, oh, yeah. And I'm like just chalking this lady down because she's like, I don't want to yell at you. She's like, I'm yelling at somebody, but it's not you, because it's not, I understand who you are. Like, I understand you're just a kid that makes minimum wage. And you have a shitty call center job. Like, I understand it's not your fault. Yeah. And she's like, what do I do? Because I don't want to wait. I've been on the phone for like 4 hours. I'm like, why don't you just like, why don't you call back in a couple hours? It's just tone down. I'm like, why don't you just like, why don't you go get lunch, have some lunch and just chill? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, just call back a couple hours. Like, I can't guarantee the phones are going to be less busy, but they might be. Just let it kind of get into the afternoon a little bit. Just chill. She's like, okay, thank you. She was like, what's your name? And I'm like, man, they're gonna monitor this call and be like, okay, what the fuck? I was like, I don't care. That's still a win for me.
Caleb's down there offering like psychotherapy and shooting the manager's number out to whoever talks to him.
I'm like, company wise, this was probably not the way to handle that, but you know what? I definitely calmed that lady down for a little bit, and I feel good about that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's something else.
Yeah, that would be. I actually, when I was going to Australia there, they were sending me, I had some stuff from Amazon coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't make it in time.
Right.
And I knew it wasn't.
Yeah.
I saw that it wasn't going to make it, and they left me like, sorry, you weren't there. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
The door was open.
Yeah.
You guys leave the package every time, but for some reason today, the driver decided that the door wasn't open when it says on it it is. I was like... I'm very mad right now.
Yeah.
Right? So I call Amazon and I'm like, I'm calling you guys because it's your package.
Yeah.
But there's actually an issue with UPS. You need to instruct UPS that the door at this building is actually open.
Yeah.
Right? But again, it's just a minimum wage dude.
It's just a guy like, for sure, man. I'm never going to talk to you again. So, yep.
Yeah. and it goes back to like my, like, I have to give you an after action that solves the problem, right? It's like, here's how we solve the problem. And the people I'm talking to are like, go fuck yourself. How about solving the problem that way? I'm like, oh, God. But they can't actually say that.
I had one guy. We should probably wrap this up soon, just in
we've been rocking
in the interest of it, like not being too long. But I had one guy call me like, it was a really confusing situation. I won't like bore anybody with the details, but like basically it was just like he sent a check in and said that like we cashed it, or it said we never cashed it or something. And then I call up to like a help desk and they're like, no, we cashed it, but like he didn't have enough money. So then I'm like,
okay.
I hate when I get into like that situation because like, there you go, that's how you deal with it, and then they hang up on you, and I'm like, I still don't know how to deal with it. So I like talk to the guy, and he's like, nope, like basically I'm wrong, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, how about I'm gonna send you to a manager because he's like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna do this, and then you're gonna do that, and I'm like, I actually don't have the authority.
All of those actions
to do
are
that.
out of my power.
And he's like, he's like, you can do it. I know you can, and I was like, no, I actually can't. Like, I actually can't. Even, like, you know, not that I don't want to. I actually can't do that. So I'm like, I'm going to patch you into a manager, and, like, you can deal with them. They'll be able to help you. And he's like, well, I have to be somewhere. So, like, if it's going to take too long, I'm not going to stay on hold. And I'm like, okay. Like, do you want the problem solved? So I'm like, yeah, for sure. And, like, so you have to, like, you can't just cold transfer. So I had to call back again and, like, explain the issue. So I am in the consult, so you just see like they're on hold, and then I'm also on hold.
Right.
And I'm on hold for like 3 to 5 minutes, and then I just see like call ended, and I'm like, all right, well, whatever. Like, I'm like, all you did was just save me a bunch of time, and now you have to still call back. And go through it with another agent, and then maybe with a manager again. So like you dropping the call, just whatever. It doesn't do me, and like it helps me. And now you just still don't have your problem solved. So like whatever, man.
Is what it is.
It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, man. I don't know. You got any like wild stories, or I mean, I know you do. But, like anything you really need heard.
Anything I really need heard
for this round?
No, I don't think I have anything else that really needs heard. It's
I'll try to find. I'll find. I have the old podcast on a hard drive. I'll have to give them to you. And
the one thing I have them. I saved them. I stripped them off SoundCloud. You know I am narcissistic enough to rip that shit off SoundCloud. That's my voice. I want that. No, I got them.
That was my old podcast setup was a USB microphone just like on the table, and then that was the. There's a very like I don't see any like waveform like. I'm like, you heard it's fine, it's good.
I don't want to tell a story, but I want to start talking about something, but I don't want to get too into it because we've been going for a while here. But so they don't, but I'm a big fan of curated content right. My Facebook is very curated. My Instagram is very curated. What gets posted matters to me.
Yeah.
I like.
What's important?
There are people who have chosen to follow me. Right, and I need to give them content that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be spewing memes out of my Facebook and just like, hey, you wanted to know about my life? Well, here's a video of somebody getting pranked at the mall.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's my attitude, and sometimes I get made fun of it for it because I express it in funny ways. But I really believe that, there's people who have given me their time and attention.
Yeah.
And I feel that that's important to me. So
You have a good Instagram.
you guys, thank you. Halfro41. Shameless
links
plug.
Links below.
Yeah. So you guys deal with, curated
Do you mean
stuff
like
all the
music
time.
in general?
Yeah, you guys have to make sure you have a good tag and a good handle, and it all has to make sense. So like, I don't know. I just kind of wanted to discuss curation of your profile, right? Because there's a lot of people who are like, Facebook is evil because all you see is the highlights. Like, all you see is the highlights of my life. You don't see me wasting an entire day gaming, right? Like, I have done that, right?
Yeah.
You see me at the top of a mountain.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see me, in a fighter jet.
Yeah.
All this cool shit. And
Yeah.
I'm not doing it because I want you to feel bad about your life. I'm doing it because I want to put good content out there. I want you to be happy for me, and I want you to post things like that back. I want to see you on stage. I want to see you singing. I want to see you rocking out. I'm like, get some, right? I don't really want to see you. I mean, if it makes you happy and you want to post the stuff, post you and your dog chilling, watching TV. That's cool. That's cool if that's what you do. But like, personally, I try to keep my stuff sharp.
Yeah.
And I think you guys as musicians,
It's definitely important. Well. It's something that, man, simplest thing I learned on Instagram, which is probably maybe I'm just stupid, but because like Julia takes a lot of our photos, and there's that function when you pick a photo, there's the 2 arrows, and you click it and it zooms out.
Yep.
You gotta do that.
Yes, every time.
Simple as that. But
Every
there's
time.
people that don't. There's people like shout out to the personal space boys because Julie took a bunch of them. Still like they would post stuff and she's like, they didn't zoom out of it. And like I didn't realize like how dumb it looked until you like hit the button and you're like, oh yeah, it's way better.
The angle gets weird because you took the picture from a certain angle for a reason, and then you cut off.
The fact that Instagram automatically zooms in on a photo too is dumb.
Weird.
The fact that that's a feature is stupid.
Yeah.
But no, for sure. Like the first, I've talked about this a lot, but like the first when we like launched our own Instagram, like I was very specific about how it was, because like my big thing was like, how stupid is it if I'm like, you're like, oh, like Kale's band, follow me on Instagram, I'll check it out, and you like click on it and it's like lost stars, right? one photo, and you're like, cool. But like when you went onto ours, it was like lost arts, and then there was 3 photos. There was like the grid of our lost arts thing.
Did you do that? You did the grid thing? So people do that, and I think that's taking my idea to the extreme. But if you, I would get doing it for a band.
But this is why
people do that.
I did it a very specific way though, because the thing that's fucking annoying about the grid is then your newsfeed is grid.
Yeah.
So what I did
was, people might not be understanding what we're talking about. We're talking about
when you like when you break up the photos.
Yeah,
so
you
like
do
you
like
take one photo, it's like 6 photos, separate photos.
You do like 3 photos in a row that will give you like a line that says like lost.
Yeah.
And it's all smoky like that too.
So we did like 6 of them. But the thing, like when you follow somebody, your last 3 photos come up. So that's why I did the. That's
I didn't know that.
That's why I did the 3 photos, and then you have 6 lost starts, and then 3 photos.
So they wouldn't get that chaff.
So when people follow us back, you just get 3 good photos, and then when you go on our on our Instagram page, it's like one big photo.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. And it was like, I was like, maybe I'm overthinking this Instagram thing, but I was just like, there's something that is just like super boring, especially now because there's so many like new musicians that are like your friends' bands are starting Instagram and stuff, and you just click on it, it's like a photo. And you're like, okay, like cool. I'm getting in on the ground floor, but
follow
like,
us. It's like, we're doing something.
Boring. Yeah, it's boring. Yeah. So it's just, and that's like that now. The big thing, like, I have so much studio footage that Julia shot for us. So now that's where I'm like, okay, we're gonna release our single in a couple weeks. Have like a studio footage video to put out, and then we have the actual music video we did, and then I have behind the scenes video, and like we have all this footage that I'm like, what the fuck do I do with it?
But you hold it,
But yeah, you have it.
I do the same thing with my stuff. Like when I went to Australia, there, like I'm not gonna give you 9 pictures in a slide, and you're not going to click and view them. I'm gonna give you one at a time. You're gonna get the coolest pictures, and because that's the way I want to keep my feed coming to you. Maybe a little bit narcissistic, because I'm not a band,
but it's important,
right?
But if you want, but that's something. It's also though like, it's the reality of like where we live though now, the age that we live in.
Yep.
That's who you are.
Yeah, very true. I just try to keep that content good, but I don't want to be an asshole with it.
No, it's tough. I mean, I guess because you're just like a guy.
I'm just a dude, right? I'm not selling anything, and I guess that's another thing too. Is it's really far. Like I'm just a guy.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have a direction.
Yeah.
This is just the life I'm living.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's some fighter jet posts.
Yeah.
Because I do cool things with fighter jets sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
So then I cook some meatless food.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a bunch of fucking vegans and vegetarians who love that shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, right on. Look at what I made.
Yeah.
And they love it. But then I climb a mountain and I post that one.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel kind of sorry for the people that that decide to follow me, because they're like, where's all this fucking vegan food coming from? I thought I was following a guy who climbs mountains. And I'm like, well, they're one. Never mind.
Sometimes I'll just have vegan food, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like social media is interesting.
It's a beast.
It's like one of those things, especially in like a band or whatever, where you have to do it. Yeah. Especially now, like you have to do it.
It's really interesting because actually, so here's we're crushing it. Yeah. We're crushing it. But so Zuckerberg made a post.
Yeah.
Probably 2 weeks ago. Social Network. I know Social Network is the Social Network. The movie.
Yeah, the movie
is overblown.
Yeah.
It's a little extreme. But I do really like the core story and what is there. I really do like entrepreneurial ship.
For sure.
And that sort of stuff. And so Zuckerberg makes a post 2 weeks ago, basically explaining that he wants the news feed to be better curated, to better your life as a user. He wants it to stop being such a bad thing in people's lives.
Yeah.
And he wants to take back control of it. And he wants to make sure that you're getting news from good news sources.
Yeah.
And that it's not just a conservative who sees it as a good news source, or a liberal or a Republican or a Democrat who sees it as a good news source. He wants the world to see that as a good news source, and that's why it ends up on your feed.
Right.
He lost millions, like hundreds of millions in the stock value that he personally owns.
Right.
He lost a lot of money making that call and making that statement. And I was talking about it, and I was kind of like, well, he's in an interesting position, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, he lost all that money making this statement, but he's grabbing the reins back on a cart that nobody else can do that.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody else can be like, I'm taking back control.
Yeah.
I'm taking this cart where I want it. So like, okay, well, let's say he lost 400 million. I think it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
But like, what is 400 million when you already have billions?
Yeah.
And you're taking control of something that nobody else can do.
Yeah.
There's nobody else in that situation to say, I'm taking the reins on Facebook and I'm doing it this way.
Yeah.
Nobody's able to do that.
Yeah.
So, okay, you paid 400 million, but what's it matter?
Yeah.
Because you did something no one else is allowed to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah. It's interesting. I just find the whole thing interesting. It is our life in social media right now.
And it's in like a very baby phase right now, so it's weird because nobody can really have like a handle on it of like, well, history shows like this or this happens. Like, it's gonna
history
be like,
shows Tom from my space is gonna fail. Right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Who knows, right? And I find it really interesting that users stopped using Facebook, and I get why. I completely get why. I hate. Again, it goes back to that curated content. I don't want to see the funny cat video that you like. I will find that on the internet myself on my own time, right?
Yeah.
But what I do want to see is you achieving something. I want to see you achieving your goals. And so all these people are cutting down on Facebook, but I feel like being in upstate New York and where I am in my life, and the military sending me to very remote places.
Yeah.
The social media is good for me. I need this.
Sure.
It keeps me in touch. I've got a group of friends who won't like this. I just walked into your house. I haven't seen you in how long? I just walked into your house, and now we're in front of the cameras doing your podcast, right? That's what we do. And man, that's valuable.
Yeah, for sure.
My opinion.
Definitely.
So
that's a good message to leave off on.
Right on. I like it.
Cool, man. Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. It was a good conversation.
It was.
Let's go get.
Got very organic.
Drunk.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go celebrate a birthday, right?
Two birthdays tonight.
Yes. All right.
Cool.
Thanks for having me on, man.